Yes.
What's up?
Yes. Hello.
Oh, what is this?
We got Tom and Does Nothing and Jim in the chat. Welcome. Oh, the Dean's List?
Yeah, I was on the National Dean's List in 2000.
What is
I find
that?
all these fun and
I have no
crap
idea.
that I forgot was still here because I'm in an undisclosed location somewhere in another part of the state.
In my experience, being on any sort of list is usually a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mater, welcome. Wait, so 6%, what is the Dean's List?
The National College Dean's List.
That still didn't clear it up.
Yeah.
It's the National Honor Society for I had a 3.9 GPA.
Oh, that's cool.
Thanks.
See, more oldies but goodies.
Ooh.
That's a sheet of paper or something.
It says McLaren. Here, I'll make it big.
McLaren Engines,
Yeah, make it big.
McLaren Engines Employee Handbook.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, I'm not used to this vertical camera crap.
But that's not how to work on McLaren engines. That's like the HR stuff.
Yeah, I worked there. They gave me this thing. This would have been from about the same time that college stuff was run, about 2000.
Oh, hey, Slimo. Welcome.
Hey, Slimo.
Tuning in from the Funny Farm.
Did you say Tom was in the chat?
Tom is in the chat.
Well, why is he not in here? That's where he belongs.
In chat, not in here.
I think he'd much rather be in the chat, it seems. I
can understand that.
I can understand all that, yeah. Well, cool.
Cool. So,
yes.
XMC.
Yes.
Yeah. Where are you with it? You've been testing it?
I am in the testing phase.
Wait, so it's built?
Well, I mean, we're working on testing the actual feature of the Venturi booster.
And so far,
promising.
Okay.
Those inserts were just wedged in there. Like there was no sealant around it at all. So there was seepage around, So I sealed that up. So I have yet to test it now that it's sealed up to see if it pulls out of the 4 holes better. And right now we're just using water, which water is not the best analog for gasoline, seeing as it's higher viscosity, more surface tension. But
definitely
tells us what it tells us.
Cool.
And somebody's making me a mount to mount the carburetor to the shop vac, but I haven't heard anything on it yet.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening with that.
It'll be snazzy once I get that thing though. Yeah, 'cause it'll act a lot more like an actual engine.
Definitely. I'm working on it. I got other 3D printed things.
That's nifty.
Oh yes.
Yeah, more random crap.
Oh, is that your ASE certification?
Yeah, it's paperwork from it.
Nice. Yes, gears and stuff. 4-barrel carb shop vac. Not quite what you're thinking, but yes.
Yes. See, I believe people would want this. I think it would be a hot commodity. We can make it a reality.
Maybe. How are you going to mass produce them?
I got a guy.
Okay. Wait. Are you talking about XMC would be popular, or the shop vac carburetor thing would be popular?
The shop vac carburetor thing, I think, would be popular.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, once it's designed,
Yeah.
It can go out there for free, and people can just print it. China is a good way to mass produce things. Yes.
China.
That is-
Wait,
that's true.
why are you in the chat?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be on here too. We got two guys who are supposed to be on here in the chat.
Hey, Juan. Welcome.
Boy, Juan.
Yeah. Why aren't you in witness protection up here with the rest of us?
Yeah, right?
It's in the Discord, sir.
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Yeah. I'll put it in there. Here, I'll put it in there again.
That's part of why I'm here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here in my mom's basement doing this. I wanted to be here for Dozens of Specials first group thing.
Well, yeah, it's the first group. Well, he's new. So we got to work out these kinks.
There, it's in there again.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
last weekend had a special guest here in Montana, Jim's Fastback Garage, and his wife. They came and they hung out with me and Whitty, and super cool people. So if you haven't subscribed to Jim's YouTube channel, you should. And somebody should put it in the chat if they are capable of doing that. Or maybe I can do that.
You might be able to do that. You get that, he talked about that 6-cylinder he's got there at all?
A
I
little
haven't
bit.
been able to keep up with it.
Post a link. There we go. There's his channel.
Oh,
Welcome.
Yeah, we're here
the
now.
favorite guy we like to not see.
How's everybody doing tonight?
What's up there, Mr. Shadows?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good.
It was awesome, Jim. It was very awesome.
Oh,
And next time I'm in Indiana, I'll hit you up too.
Well, at least I met him first, but you met his wife, so you got me one up there.
Thumbs up.
I was gonna have him drive my truck, and then I forgot. And we ran out of time.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tag the upper on Better Junkyard. What do you mean, Juan? I don't know what that means.
Is that proper grammar?
I don't know. Does that make any sense to you?
Not much makes sense to me.
Oh, well, we already knew that, but
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just floating through life right now. Good God. Good God. No, I got to tell you all about it. My
Okay.
guy at
Mhm.
work,
Mhm.
right? He has a hard time figuring out a schedule, even though I post it like 2 weeks in advance, right?
Mhm.
He shows up on days he doesn't work, and he doesn't show up on days he does. Well, yesterday he didn't show up, right? Him and his brother work there. His brother works like an hour later than he does. He's supposed to start at 8. The brother starts at 9, so he just carpools with the brother. So he doesn't have a license. So
Okay.
he doesn't show up. So I'm just like, oh, come on. You got to be shitting me. Again, right? I had this thing posted for 2 weeks already, you know? So when his brother gets there, we're like, you got to turn back around. You got to go get your brother, right? He didn't show up. So he turns around. He goes back home to get his brother, who is not 21, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time he gets there, he is already high on edibles. And he can't come to work. Can't come to work.
Huh.
I'm just like...
It sounds like this guy does not make the best life choices.
Well,
and this was 8:30 in the morning.
No.
It's like Jesus Christ.
Speaking of bad choices,
Who's that?
Matco Tools. I thought you were a Snap-on guy.
No, I wasted mine equally with everyone.
Oh, one says you're methed up, and you don't even understand live at One the Troll.
What happened?
Oh, Juan is trolling again.
Oh,
Yeah. Juan's trolling.
Does nothing. Are your eyes glowing?
Yeah,
Yes.
he does that.
You some creature of the night?
Yeah. See, that
Kinda.
has to be his intro. Just that. Just darkness and glowing eyes. Just has to be does some special intro. You gotta add that to the intro.
Okay, that's not hard.
Yeah.
Highway Patrol was stalking me today. I won an appeal on the speeding ticket. That's awesome.
Nice.
How did you win the appeal?
How the hell did you manage that?
Were you like, no, this guy, he doesn't know what he's talking about, or like, how did you cast some doubt on that police officer? I want to know.
How many $20 bills did you slip the judge to get that repealed?
I am a chronic speeder, or at least I used to be when I drove a fast car every day. Now I drive a slow truck every day, so I don't get caught speeding. But that BMW, I used to drive from Washington to Oregon every day for work, and it was about an hour and a half commute. And the highway was 55, and I drove significantly faster than that on a regular basis. But I'm not going to self-incriminate. But I had a radar detector, which is legal in both Washington and Oregon, just to be fair. And I was, hammered down, headed home, and the radar detector blipped, and so I slowed way down to the speed limit, and drove the speed limit and came up on the cop, and the cop pulled over, and I went past him, and then he pulled out behind me and pulled me over.
What?
And he didn't give me a ticket. And I have a theory, but I'm not a cop, so I don't know. But I got pulled over. I pulled the radar detector off the window and threw it in the floorboard.
Yeah.
He came up. I rolled down my window, and he's like, "Oh, you were going pretty fast back there." And I was like, "Oh, He said, "But you slow down pretty quick. I bet you have a radar detector." I said, Like I wasn't really talking. He said, "It's legal to have a radar detector in Oregon." I was like, "Oh, that's good to know." And he's like, "There's no problem with using a radar detector." I was like, "Oh, cool."
That's neat.
And he kept going like that for a little bit, and then he's like, he asked for my information. I gave it to him. He went back to his car. He came back, and he's like, "Well, make sure you're careful driving out there and have a good trip home." And he didn't give me a ticket. And my only thought is, I probably because the radar detector just blipped, and then I slowed down. He must have just barely clocked me. And then the next time he clocked me, I was going the speed limit. And he was trying to get me with the radar detector, because then there would have been intent to speed, or maybe some sort of reason why his radar detector went from speeding to not speeding.
Yeah, he wanted you to incriminate yourself.
Right. Yeah. So be that a lesson to everybody in the chat. If an officer walks up and says, "You know how fast you were going?" the answer is either "I don't know," or "Last time I checked, I was going the speed limit."
Yeah,
and then offer him baseball cards, because those might work.
Well, but that might be bribing a police officer.
a radar detector sounds cool in theory, but in reality, the only time it goes off is when he's already clocked you. So it kind of defeats the purpose.
I don't know. That radar detector has saved my bacon many times, because that BMW is a cop magnet, because it's all blacked out, tinted windows, and it goes fast, and I used to drive it fast. And I used to get pulled over all the time, and I got a couple tickets in it, and I was like, okay, that's it. Bought the radar detector, and from then on, as soon as I had that radar detector, I still got pulled over occasionally, but from then on, never got a ticket. I think it's because, there wasn't enough evidence. I didn't blow past this cop going 80 in a 55. He just, clocked me, got, and then I slowed way down, and then I get a warning instead, And then I started driving the white. Okay. Then I got the white F-150, and I was driving that, and I drove that just as fast as the BMW. And I had never been pulled over in that truck. I drove the same road, the same speed that I used to in the BMW. It's totally because they saw this blacked out BMW on low pro wheels with tinted windows. White F-150, nobody sneezes, nobody looks your way.
You would think the Mustang would be a cop magnet, but
Oh no. But you don't look like a mafia boss driving a Mustang. At least not yours.
The mafia boss drive a BMW.
Oh yeah. Blacked out 7 Series BMW, Russian mafia all the way.
He's like a drug dealer.
Okay.
I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't say it on the stream.
What shouldn't you say?
I don't know. Okay, well, fuck. Yeah, it's your channel, not mine.
Oh no.
He probably pulled you over because he saw that car and he thought your skin may be a few shades darker.
You thought you had a suntan?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Didn't think I was a ginger.
I doubt anybody will remember, but I mentioned I had Ford lab coats. Yeah, I found one in the basement of my mom's house.
You were just unlocking treasure troves of treasures.
Pretty much.
You should wear that when you work on the Chandler.
Yes.
Yeah, it fit me when I was 3 sizes too big, so it's gonna look like I'm wearing my brother's coat.
You calling your brother fat?
Yes, because I don't have a brother, so yes, I am.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah, I think you're right, Juan. He just wanted me to spill the beans.
Yeah, they just want you to tell them.
Yeah.
Tell them what you're doing.
Ten-year gold license for good people. Oh, you guys have a point system there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's just sad. That's extremely sad.
Oh, but he said that he hadn't lost a point since 1998, so he had leverage in court. That makes sense.
He hasn't been caught since 1998.
Exactly.
Yeah, I try not to drive extremely stupid, but I don't exactly follow the rules.
Yeah. My driving is directly influenced by how late I am. So
yeah, that does not surprise me.
Gears and Stuff says the car I drive has a screwed up transmission, so the cruise control likes to slowly creep up from where I set it. Apparently the thing wants me to get a ticket or something. That sounds like a not good problem. Sounds like the opposite of what cruise control is supposed to do.
that sounds like it's totally made up, and that's what he tells the cop when he gets pulled over.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I did in high school. I got a lessened ticket because I told the cop that my speedometer was off by 10 miles an hour.
Actually, that sounds like a speeding ticket and a fix-it ticket.
Yeah, well, didn't get a fix-it ticket, so. And instead of being 20 over, he gave me a ticket for 10 over.
No, I meant the cruise control thing. You can't fix the speedometer.
Yeah. Oh, the cop saw a 50 Shades of Grey person. Is that what you mean, Dan? That's from Juan.
That's well, I mean, not exactly what I was going.
Technically, if he didn't give you a reason for why he pulled you over, it's considered an illegal stop, and you didn't have to give him ID. Well, no, he did.
And
He pulled me over, and he said, I pulled you over because I caught you going pretty fast, is what he said. So again, I think there was enough evidence with he clocked me speeding, but then next time he clocked me, I wasn't, and so I think there was enough evidence there for him to think that enough evidence for him to pull me over for speeding, but not enough evidence to write me a speeding ticket.
Well, yeah, but no, he just chose not to because they don't need evidence. Come on now.
well, that's true.
Evidence, schmevidence. Let's be honest. If they wanted to take you for something, he would have made it up.
That's fair.
There are some cases where if they pull you over, they actually don't have the authority to ask for your identification. But if you choose not to give them that, then be prepared for fucking hell, for hours after the case, because they will keep you there for a long ass time.
Yeah, but if they do, then you can take them to court.
You can and maybe get like a penny or something, or we'll give them a slap on the wrist for you. Don't you worry about it. Then I'll be right back out doing the same damn thing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So sometimes bucking the system just is more work than it's worth.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's also qualified immunity. Remember that phrase if you get stuck someplace.
Oh, that is cool. I used to have one like that. Oh, not the skid steer. I had a bulldozer.
Well, there's more in the closet.
You're finding old toys even?
Work. Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, you can't, well, actually, that's my toy box from when I was a kid.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, my uncle made it for me.
Hey, your mom kept everything. Boy, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything from any previous jobs.
It's full of farming equipment.
Oh. Did you want to be a farmer when you were younger?
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't mind being a farmer now.
Well, you could be like Pickle and have given up farming to go live in the city with a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
went the other way. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, man. And it like articulates in the middle?
Yep.
Oh, that is cool.
Neat.
And the little plow moves. It actually hinges at the back, but the grader moves.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think I had a dump truck, a bulldozer, and like a road grader with the blade in the middle. They were fun.
No, I don't have a lot of what I have some of what I used to have when I was a kid, but no, I had all that stuff, and it was practically GI Joe size, so it worked to its advantages.
Well, I found out today something I've been curious about for the better part of 2 decades.
You're adopted?
No. Well, not quite. Unfortunately, probably not. But anywho, so I finally know what the camshaft specs of Mustang was.
And? Stock?
268 duration, 451 lift.
What's low
both
separation?
intake and exhaust. It was a comp cam.
Yeah.
What's the lobe separation?
110. It was puny. So. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but now you have all kinds of stuff. You have two different engines you can put in there. So.
Right. Well, I've been wondering what the hell that cam's been ever since we got in the car. Now I know. I mean, it wasn't all that impressive, but
So, was that car like your dad's before or something?
well, it was we had gotten it for a father-son project car, hot rod, because we had to get rid of a pontoon boat. Because you use the pontoon once, twice when you first get it, then it just sits there for years. So they got rid of that, and then we got first we got a 65 Galaxy, where I learned how to drive. 3 on the tree, 289. That one was a 289. Then we got the Mustang afterwards because it wasn't exactly the hot rod we were looking for. The 4-door Galaxy, apparently.
Still cool, though.
It was very cool. We got rid of it, unfortunately. Worst trade possible, too. Trade it for another boat. Terrible. That boat sucked.
You know what boat stands for?
Yeah, bust out another.
Yep.
Yeah.
I live in the boat cap or the top 3 boat areas in a freaking whole entire country.
Yeah. Oh, apparently IDP wrote Jim's mom a ticket along with 6 other people, and she went to court and the judge threw out the ticket.
Cool.
That's pretty lucky.
Thanks.
Slimo couldn't believe. He said we couldn't believe our luck when mobile phones were invented. Bypassed highway sections became our racetracks. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You do those rallies like Cannonball Run and stuff. Takes a lot of planning, but I've always thought that would be fun. And
I've always wanted to do a Cannonball Run ever since I've seen the movie.
Oh yeah. I read. I think it's over here. The Driver by Alexander Roy. He won the Cannonball that they did back in 2003 or something. He's the one that like revived it, I think. But this is a really good book. And the guy is an absolute legend. And he drives a BMW, which is cool.
There's this one flaw.
Okay. That's flaw.
Yes, Mr. Plow like Homer won.
Yeah.
Say, I got the plow on my truck, ready for snow.
Speaking of plows on a truck, and a truck that is, yours, don't you have some project going on with that truck or something? Some testing, analysis, something other happening?
I am, and it's taking way longer than I initially expected, which is great.
Do you have any results? Any conclusions? Any?
No conclusions. I have some results. But I don't necessarily want to spoil anything. What do I want to say?
What do you want to say?
So I have no conclusions.
Okay.
Because I'm not done testing. I haven't tested all of the configurations yet. And particularly, I haven't tested your configuration yet. So that's my final test. Let's see. What I will say is, if you aren't using a vacuum advance and you're driving your car like on the street just for normal driving, use a vacuum advance. That's what I can say. There's no point in not running a vacuum advance if you're driving your car on the street just like normal driving. And I guess that's somewhat conclusive, but
pretty conclusive.
But that's not the ultimate conclusion that I'm going for. We're trying to find out which configuration is the ultimate best configuration, and ultimately, who's right. So I will say, what was that?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, all those people in the comments of my video saying that we're all idiots because the engineers at the big three are smarter than all of us. While I agree, the engineers at the big three are probably smarter than all of us. They were working with certain constraints that they had to fit into, and the stock configuration out of the manual is not the best one. I guess I can say that.
Did you just? I've worked a fairly large number of engineers in the big three. Your last statement is only partially true.
They're not. They're not the brightest group of people. Right?
No, there are some amazing people. There are also some knuckle dragging idiots as well. So.
So, the cop didn't show up. That's why his mom's ticket got thrown out. Cannonball was ruined by Lovid. Do you mean the same thing but with a C? I thought that's when they did the last one, was during the
Driver?
Yeah, the Wuhan flu, the Kung flu.
The Kung flu. I like that.
I thought that was when they did I think that's when the record, it's something insane now, like 25 hours or 25 hours and 45 minutes or something. Something absolutely insane with an average of probably 102 miles an hour or something.
Yeah,
Man, I got it.
So there's checkpoints along the way, right? It's not just start here and you finish there. Like there's certain checkpoints you have to go to, or
no. Cannonball is literally, you start in New York. I forget where exactly in New York. And you drive nonstop, except, you're going to have to refuel a couple times, all the way to California, nonstop. There are no checkpoints. There are a lot of guys that do it. They'll set up teams all across the United States that will run interference with cops and stuff so that they don't get pulled over.
Are there any like hard rules that you have to follow?
No, the rule is go from New York to California as fast as you can. Like the only rules are you have to start at the same place. It's like a parking lot of a hotel or something.
Right.
You have to end at the same place, and you have to use a punch card, to prove your time. And they fly the same punch card machine from New York to California, and then.
See, I was just gonna say, right? If you had money, why wouldn't you just punch your card, drive to the airport, load your car up on the plane, fly over there, unload, and then go punch your card again?
I mean, you could. A lot of these guys film it too, though, for proof.
So you could prove you got your ass from New York to there faster than everyone else, and you didn't even have to lift a. You could be, sipping on a glass of champagne as you were kicking everyone else's ass.
I think that defeats the purpose of the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it will be a rule the next year round, but at least it will be a rule that you got to get set in place. That's almost better than anything else, is when you are the cause of rules for the previous next seasons. That's almost a bigger accomplishment than winning.
I don't know. Juan, yes, the Inline 6 project will hopefully continue soon, but it's kind of been put on the back burner for now because I've been struggling to find parts for it. Hey, 6%. Tom is asking what the SS means in front of the boat name.
What? Sorry.
Tom asks, what does this SS mean in front of the boat name?
super sport boat.
I don't think
For real?
sport.
No, I have no idea. You know your family's been doing stuff like this for far too long when they have framed pictures of machinery in the basement.
That
What
is
is that?
It's an old. It's. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look it up, but that's an old. It's got a hell of a lot of readouts, so it's got to be some kind of control unit. The machinery's got to be somewhere behind it, but because you're looking at a ton of dials, so it's got to be doing a lot of readings.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the machine your uncle lost his arm in.
Yeah.
No, everybody in my family had all their hands and fingers. Nobody made it to middle management for losing parts of your fingers.
Uh-huh.
Mater says SS stands for state ship, and Slimo says it stands for seasick.
Seats.
Oh, Pickle's not going to join us. He just said that he's working.
That guy's always
Color
working.
me surprised.
Yeah. We need a little like webcam for him that just has like a sign that says "Be back soon" or something, or at work, or
Like I said last week, we just need to have a little box on the bottom that says 404 error not found.
Must be a lot of homeless people to hassle tonight.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Look, all right, if your job requires you to go beat up the homeless and steal their valuable possessions, they should at least let you live stream at work.
you would
There's gotta
think
be some give and take here. So okay, for you, I will go, ruin these people's lives even further. For me, you let me live stream at work, okay?
Yeah, no, you would ask, he won't.
Well, that's true. Well, yeah.
Oh, Jim says that most racing rules say that if it's not covered in the rules, that doesn't make it legal.
If it's not covered in the rules, they can't prove it's not illegal or is illegal.
True. It's only illegal if you get caught, right?
Pretty much.
They can have a hissy fit about it, but that's what next year's rule book is for.
Oh, I heard something interesting this weekend. The people who won the most have the most rules written against them. That's kind of how it works. If you don't break it, you don't get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a handmade arrow, by the way.
Nice.
I'm finding all kinds of fun crap.
I see that.
Yeah. Is most everything okay down there?
Yeah, it's she's in a condo and the sump pump is in another condo and it backed up at some point. So there's damage to the tile and some lowered flooring, but the insurance is covering some stuff and nothing's damaged. Just trying to get everything out because they're starting to fix it tomorrow. Or starting demo tomorrow. That's why I'm doing the Tom part right now.
Well, to be fair, Tom would be doing the demo part.
Tom does the everything part.
If
right?
Tom was management, I'm doing the Tom part right now.
Technically, Tom is management.
Just keep talking. Don't make me hit you with this.
Tom is what is it? What's your official title, Tom? You're a field manager now? Well, again?
Again?
Yeah, long story. They tried to screw him over, and then after they did that, they realized, oh shit's not getting done anymore. So then they forced him to have the position they screwed him out of again, against his will. Yes.
That's exciting.
It was great, from what I hear.
So field manager. So he manages fields.
I don't know, field manager is the actual title. I forget what it's called now. He'll chime in.
cleanup supervisor?
Crew lead or something like that. I'm not sure. He's in charge of the goons. So.
Oh, I see. He's in charge of the goons while they're in the field.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So he's the lead goon.
Yeah, he is the lead goon.
Okay.
You could call him the Lagoon if that makes it easier.
Oh, I can. Ooh. I have an idea.
What was that?
I just found out that I can edit your guys' names and headlines. So when Tom gets on, I'll just make sure he's the Lagoon.
He's the Lagoon, yeah.
Yeah.
The lead goon.
Huh. Well, so what are your plans for this winter? You're working on your engines, of course, but what do you want to accomplish while it's nasty outside?
I have to get an engine built of some kind to go back in. I think I'm going to finish the one that's in the living room. I think I want to use that block with the forged pistons Nick McMahon sent me. They're factory forged.
Oh, that's cool.
My only problem is the cylinder head right now. Like, okay, I have 3 sets of cylinder heads at the moment now. I have the E7s, which I spent that time porting, but I don't know if I want to go get the valve jobs done with it at the machine shop because that could be expensive for iron heads.
Probably.
You still haven't reached out to Summit or Holly or Jags or anybody?
No. I might be too brash for sponsorship. I don't know.
I don't know. I think
I'm not really pursuing it either. I sent one email to Holly, and they emailed me back once, and I emailed them back once, and that's as far as I went. I haven't gotten anything back from them, and I haven't sent anything either. So I have the heads that came off the Mustang. They're trash. We got the one valve just sunk. The exhaust valve just sunk right down past the seat. You know.
Yeah, but you could put a new seat in there.
I could, but again, that's machine shop and that's money and that's don't know if I want to spend that on iron heads. Yes.
Dan, hold on a second. I'm getting a call.
Oh my. Wait,
what did you just say?
He's finding weird stuff.
I'm finding weird shit like a flip phone.
Oh, I guess I didn't recognize it as being weird. It's supposed to be flip phone. Okay, so I got those heads. Those heads are junk. Then I have my really nice AFR Renegade aluminum heads. Super fancy, super strict, very nice. They have 202 intake valves. And I have stock style pistons with not the valve relief to use those valves. I either need to get new pistons or fly cut the pistons that I have.
Well, which is cheaper?
Probably fly cutting the pistons. But then I need to find a way to fly cut them. I could either do it myself by getting the tool and putting the tool in it's essentially just a valve with a grinder end on it, right? And you put it in the head and you put the head on the block with the piston in it at top dead center and you go until it hits a stop, then you stop and and then it makes a mess and whatever else.
Or an easier, quicker way, right, is you take the piston out of the engine
Die
and
grinder?
you put it in a vise, yeah, and then die grinder, you just eyeball it, you'll be fine. Just make sure you don't go all the way through the top of the piston,
True.
because then you'll have other problems.
I could do that.
Sounds like what you need is one of these.
What's that?
Probably something you never even saw before.
Oh crap! I
Ooh.
ain't seen one of those in years.
Neither have I.
Performance parts catalog. Yeah.
That's cool.
The specific one, the Performance Automotive Warehouse, they were huge. They had everything you could ever want. Trying to find something for Dan real quick here.
Tunnel ram?
Oh no, that too. You could get basically an engine in a bag. So full, buy everything.
Whoa.
Nice.
They
That's
haven't
cool.
been, as far as I know, they haven't been in business in a while. This is a very old catalog.
How old?
8.
Oh,
That's old. Ish.
I wonder if you could still. Are they still in business? Can you call them and still see if they got parts?
As far as I know, they're not, because I haven't seen any ads from them on anything in a long time.
No,
Or
I
they
think
got
they
bought
went
up by somebody else, and now they don't. They exist, but they're not the same company.
Hmm.
Something
I
along
think they
those
went
lines.
out of business like 15 years ago.
I think so. Yeah, because it's been a long time since I've seen anything from them, and they were huge. Everybody, especially with YouTube the way it is, everybody'd be like everybody's sponsored by Holly. There'd be people with those just handing out that PAW crap all over the place.
Yeah, I don't think Holly likes me because I don't like EFI. And Holly has gone full EFI mode.
Well, they still have carburetors and stuff.
Just because they still have it doesn't mean that's where their heart lies.
Fair. Oh, Tom says his title is crew chief. That makes
That's
sense.
what it was. Yeah, crew chief.
Well, there are other companies other than Holly.
Edelbrock, Offenhauser.
No, those are all owned by the same company. They're all owned by
Yeah.
Holly. There
Really?
are other companies that aren't owned by Holly.
Wait, Edelbrock and Offenhauser are owned by Holly?
Yes.
Oh,
Holly
I didn't know
or the Holly conglomerate owns probably 75% of the bigger named companies at this point.
That's why
So-
Edelbrock made that Holly carburetor, essentially. So
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen the Edelbrock Holly carburetor mix there? Edelbrock came out with a new carburetor that is just essentially a Holly carburetor.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's the point?
Because Holly was the superior design.
Yeah, but I mean, like Edelbrock had their design,
Yeah.
and then Holly had their design,
Yeah.
and they catered to two different groups of people.
Yeah, see, that doesn't. No. You want to cater to every group of people.
But a Holly carburetor doesn't do that.
Well, to the performance world anyway. And really, it's mostly a PR stunt. I mean, it's a Edelbrock, but it's a Holly. It's new, it's shiny. And people are like, oh, it's new and it's shiny. I gotta buy one. How much is it? It's a mere $600. It's like,
Ooh.
oh my fucking God. And then they trick people to buy them.
Huh. But you might as well just buy a Holly.
Well, you essentially did.
Yeah, okay, but so they're basically just playing people because you've got like the hardcore Edelbrock guys and the hardcore Holly guys. They're basically just playing people because they're all just the same now.
Well, really, they're playing to the hardcore Edelbrock guys who really deep down want a Holly, but they're just too brand allegiant. Now they have an option.
Wow.
They're diversifying within their marketplace, so it makes sense for what they're doing. They keep them somewhat separate, but they're all under one umbrella. So.
Yeah. They should have a tagline that says something like, now you can still be an Edelbrock guy, but own a Holly, or something like that.
Yeah. Or now you can just call them Edelbrocks.
Edelbrocks.
Mm-hmm.
We have over 60 years of innovation, and we have finally come out with the most practical design for a carburetor ever. Introducing this Like, wait a minute, that's just a Holly carburetor.
Yeah. Holly's been
They
around for
finally
about
came around.
Holly's been around for about 100 years. They're one of like the first 10 performance companies that existed.
Yeah. I wonder if it's kind of like, you know, how iPhone, they always release new features that Androids have had for like 5 years already, and the iPhone users just go bonkers for it. They go, "Oh my goodness, it's the newest, greatest innovation ever!" And it's like, yeah, but we've had that technology already.
Well, yeah, but if it on the iPhone it actually works as opposed to your batshit bullshit phones. So.
What? No.
Yeah, you heard me.
This phone,
It's a
I'm
piece of
telling you, man. No, it's great. It was inexpensive. It does. I run my entire business off of it, and it's like 4 years old now. It still works.
Mm-hmm.
iPhone, you know, you get an update every year that makes it obsolete. So
No, you get an update every couple of months. It makes it obsolete. They do the same thing with the Androids. They're just a little bit more cute about it. iPhone doesn't hide it. They just go, "Yeah, your phone's now a brick. Here you go."
no, that's true.
Yeah, I found some. They used to
Levi Strauss.
Snug. These are 42s.
Oh,
Yeah, now I'm in a 30.
that is a big difference.
Just a bit.
You could do those Jared from Subway ads.
No, I don't want to go anywhere near with Jared from Subway.
I don't know if he needs that kind of publicity.
Yeah,
Is that guy still in jail?
No. Yeah, now
Probably.
basically I could fit in one of these pant legs now.
I kind of want to see you try.
It's not that kind of show, Junkyard.
Well, Juan thinks it is. He says SS stands for sexy 6%.
Oh God. No, if I'm going to do that crap, it'll be for tomorrow when I'm giving stuff away. You got to drum up the views for the giving away prizes part. So.
Definitely. Yeah, so that, he's here.
Oh,
Hey.
Chief Lagoon porting for duty.
Tom.
Yeah.
No, actually, now that Tom's here, I'm going on break. So.
Okay.
Because I've been cleaning up, all Serve Pro style for a while now. It's my break time.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, 6%. Make sure you're taking your union mandated breaks. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Chief Lagoon has spoken.
See, Gears and Stuff, he gets it. He says not to mention the fact you can actually service an Android phone. That is true.
Without any special training.
Without being an Apple store. That was the thing back when I had my computer store, is we couldn't get official Apple parts because we weren't an Apple store. So we had to get either bootleg parts or used parts. It's dumb.
Well, I'm not saying it's not dumb, but it's still, still a better product. All right.
6%. What exactly happened over there?
Oh, you missed that story.
Oh,
Water.
sorry, my mom's in a condo, and there's a sump pump for her chunk of condo, and it stopped working at some point. So there's a little bit of water damage.
The sump pump failed?
Yeah, the insurance is coming out. The insurance has already been out there taking care of it, and the guys are starting tomorrow. So I'm just trying to help her clean the stuff that she doesn't want down here up, including some of my old crap that I should have probably taken out of here about 10 years ago.
Are you like, have any of that stuff gotten wet?
No, the stuff that I'm messing with hasn't. I couldn't touch it if it did.
Yeah, I would say if anything has been touched by the water, you're gonna want a mask. You're gonna want gloves. Even being in the room.
I've got gloves. I've got a mask with me. No, nothing I'm touching has been exposed to any water. Okay. They're doing all their own stuff. So
if it has, you can take like just Dawn dish soap and water and wipe it off real good and leave it somewhere that's not affected to dry. And if it's not porous, if it's like a box or something porous like that, you're gonna have to get rid of it.
Yeah, and this wasn't like a flood. This was just a little bit of water problems. This wasn't like a,
But I know what you mean.
2x2. So
But if it came out of, if the sump pump failed, it pretty much came out of the sewer. So
Yeah, it was clean. Well, as clean as it can be.
we would have to classify that as Cat 3.
There's not 3 cats in here. I'm sorry.
No, that's water classification. There's clean water, Cat 1. 2 is slightly contaminated, like you could still shower with it. You wouldn't want to drink it.
Like gray water?
Yeah. And Cat 3 is grossly contaminated, like full of bacteria, and you don't even want to touch it.
Yeah, no, I'm purposely not touching anything. So,
See,
beyond the
something,
fact that I'm allergic to mold, so I'm not touching anything. Beyond the fact that all the other medical stuff I've got going on. So,
How long has it been going on for? Do you know?
it happened a while ago, and it's
We-
been almost a month since anything was wet.
we finally have a case where he's actually involved,
Yes.
and you can see him go into full on like professional. That's a Cat 3 right there.
Do you have? Don't put any fans or anything on it right now.
Yeah, no, the company is coming tomorrow. This is what they do. So,
Yeah, they'll have
They're-
dehumidifiers and rip out.
yeah,
everything.
they're gonna seal everything off and put the in and out air up and all that crap. So,
Yeah,
You don't want to put fans on it because it'll just blow the poo bacteria around, or
Yeah.
yeah. You don't want that stuff flying around in the air. That's the most dangerous place it can be, is floating around aerosolized in the air. By not putting fans on it, it'll dry and just sit on the ground. But kind of like mold. If you have mold anywhere, do not put a fan on it. Make sure that mold is gone before you try to dry out the space, because the mold will blow all over the house.
well, it's like asbestos. Asbestos isn't technically dangerous until you remove it.
Yeah,
Then it becomes
until, and that's the same thing with asbestos too. In order to remove asbestos, you have to wet it down so it doesn't become aerosolized.
So are you certified to remove asbestos and that sort of thing too?
No, we're not certified. We test for it. We're working on getting the certification for that.
Does that mean you're working on getting a certification for that?
My company is.
No, I understand that, but since you're the guy who's got all the certifications, does that mean you're going to have that certification?
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going so well. The guy that's trying to do it is very not smart.
Well, that's what's wrong with the dangerous material. It's an idiot.
Taken the test like twice and failed, so it's probably going to come down to me. All things come down to me. And then I pass. So
you should be running the show by now.
Yeah, it should be, but it is what it is.
Yeah. But you're at Chief Lagoon level right now.
He is a Chief Lagoon.
Yeah,
He is a reluctant Chief Lagoon.
I get one goon with me, and that, like, even if we're at the shop, wherever we are, I'm in charge of this guy. So I got to be making sure he's doing stuff. And, like, if we just get back from the shop, I got to make sure he's cleaning equipment and stuff that we bring back. And then any other person that shows up at the shop, and if I'm there, I got to... Yeah, so I'm chief of the lagoons. All of them.
Yeah. So Juan brings up a good question. What do you have to do if mold gets into the ducting and ventilation system?
They have treatments that they can do. A specialized company will come in and like clean the ducts and then spray any antimicrobial. It's basically, there's different ways to do it. We had a machine to clean ducts, but they have like these big truck mounted like vacuums and machines, and we let them do it because we had this little machine with a brush and things spun, and it had a long hose. You just kind of got to feed it in there, and then take pictures until you think you got it good enough. But these guys for sure get everything.
When you say ducks, I think of the birds. You have to suck them up with the truck and.
Well, we have this it's a carpet cleaning like machine, but it's built into the side of a van. So you like open the van doors and you turn on the gas powered suction machine for the carpets. And that thing, when we start it up, we can't have any animals around it because it will suck the animal into the hose.
It's not good.
Nice.
Or kids. So we are very careful.
There you go, Tom. There's some, or Dan, there's some old Ford work shirts as well.
Nice. Yeah, my Ford work shirt was way cheaper than that.
No, these were when I was at Ford itself. These weren't dealership ones. These were actually at Ford.
I
Was it a Ford?
What?
I was going to say, was it a Ford dealership that you worked at?
Yeah. Well, Mills. Yeah, Mills Ford.
Yeah, I did as well, but these were actually when I was contracted to Ford at Dearborn and Romeo.
My uniform had had patches on it. They sewed the patches on with fucking fishing line.
What? Why?
Yeah, that shit hurt like hell. You fucking just scratching the hell out of you.
Wait, but why did they use fishing line instead of just thread?
I don't know. Don't ask me. It was basically fish. If it wasn't fishing line, you could have used it like fishing line. Let's put it that way. It's terrible.
50-pound test.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I got to finish up down here. I will. If you're still on when I get out of here, I'll get back on.
All righty, sir.
All right. See everybody. Hopefully tomorrow. Giveaway, fun stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. Take it easy, guys.
Have a good one, man. Don't touch anything.
Too late. It's already touched stuff.
Well, Tom, what are you working on this winter?
My tan. Totally got to get tanner.
How do you propose you're going to do that?
Winter sunning. Gonna
winter tan.
Be outside for like 15 minutes at a time, standing in the sun. And yeah, if you do that enough times in a row, you'll get tan.
Or hypothermia.
Wait. I got an idea.
Okay.
That just sparked an idea.
Okay.
We're gonna be millionaires. We'll sell it down in Florida. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Human rotisserie tanning machine.
What? Wait. So you mean like, how would you hold the person? Like with a clamp or?
Yeah. So we'll work out the fine details, but essentially, just slowly turn so you have an even tan.
How long do you sit in a tanning bed for?
I don't know.
Because you could like stand next to like a tanning bed type of thing, and then stand on a rotating. So then you just turn around and around.
Having like the roller dogs at the gas station.
Yeah, I'm telling you, we are going to be billionaires.
That's exactly how you'd have to do it. You'd have to have the lights and then the rollers that you lay on, and it just rolls you like a hot dog.
Yeah.
Also, Jim, safe travels. Keep the hammer down. Okay, so then what would you call it? Human hot dog roller?
No. It's the rotisserie tanning
Oh
machine.
no. You're just gonna call it. We're just gonna call it Epic Guys Tanning. And
Okay.
we're not gonna say what's gonna happen because that might drive people away.
No, come on now. People would pay money to have this done.
All right. They're gonna be standing there looking at this contraption, thinking like, God, I've seen this somewhere before. Where is it? A gas station.
Why am I getting heartburn thinking about it?
Okay, but
We call those gas station hot dogs. We call them wizard fingers.
what? Why?
Because sometimes when you go in there and they've obviously been on there for quite a while, they shrivel up just ever so slightly. They look like wizard's fingers.
Slowly rotating their way into jerky.
Oh, hot dog jerky. That does not sound great.
This was an Oscar Mayer hot dog 15 years ago.
Does a hot dog like that appreciate in price because it's fine aged or whatever?
As a matter of fact,
I think as soon as you pull those parts out and make that hot dog, that just goes even more downhill from there. I don't know.
Yeah, I worked at a gas
you might have to pay people to eat hot
that
dogs.
whole thing up.
Oh yeah. How long did you leave them on there?
What?
How long could you leave them on there before you had to replace them?
Well, until they sold, obviously.
We're
a fucking gas
That's what I'm
station.
saying. Wizard fingers.
Yeah. How do you think they get like that?
Oh man.
Just as dangerous.
Look, all right, a couple will sell, you put a couple fresh ones on in between to try, you stage it up so it doesn't look quite so bad.
Clearly, this is before he realized what rotation means. It's not. He figured out it wasn't just what the hot dogs did when you put them up there.
The one that's in the back left corner has been there for 5 years. Since he's never rotated them.
3 days? How did that happen? Don't we shut this down every night?
Well, yeah, you shut it down, and then you have to set it back up the next morning. Yeah.
Oh,
See that
oh,
one
so
up
it
in
wasn't
the top
a-
left-hand corner? I put that one there in 1997.
I like the fact that they have those trays with the buns, and then the buns are rarely ever in those trays. It's always in some drawer or something on the cabinet. Sometimes some places have the newer units where it has the buns in there.
Yeah. You just stacked them anywhere. Actually, my gas station was weird because it actually had fucking old school hand scooped ice cream cones.
Really?
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Oh no, it pissed me off.
Oh,
I started there, and then all of a sudden I'm like, "What? You mean I gotta fucking scoop ice cream too? You gotta be shitting me! I'm working at a gas station. I didn't sign up for this."
What's the weirdest thing you ever saw working a gas station, or who's the weirdest person you ever saw?
Oh, you can't.
Kids should be frozen or anything.
It's just every day. It's just every day.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you try to blank out most of that. I mean, you're just behind the counter, just scanning shit away. Oh, that guy didn't pay on fucking pump whatever. Write that shit down. Oh,
Yeah.
well. Not my money.
Yeah. But did you see any weird trends? Like when I worked at Burger King, it was always, you'd have the dinner rush at like 6, and then it would be dead from like 8 to 9.
Yeah.
And then right around 9:30, you started getting all the weird orders. You get people coming through the drive-through wanting like 20 Whopper Juniors and crap like that, because that's when all the stoners come out.
Yeah.
20
Yeah. Well, we
I'm
always
not kidding. That was actually an order once, and there was one guy in the
5
car.
regular Whoppers.
we would always get a massive influx of people like half an hour before we closed.
Uh-huh.
So then they would keep us open for like an hour after the fact until I stopped that shit immediately. I started locking the door half hour before we closed.
That's a
People
good plan.
would come up and be like, "You're still open? It says right here." It's like, sorry, counting money, can't hear you.
You just stand there with your back to the door. Yeah. No, when I had my store, we had one lady that would come in like 5 minutes before closing and want us to do a bunch of stuff and would hold us over like that. But it never was every day, and it never was a bunch of people. It was always just this one lady.
It was every day.
Man.
Yeah.
What about you, Does Nothing Special? You doing anything fun this winter? You got any projects?
No, I'm just going to work on that Galaxy.
Ooh.
Have you
That's
worked
good
on
plan.
that?
No, I'm still working on the shop. See, my biggest problem is I'm not a very good carpenter. So some people, if you take a quick glance at it, it looks okay. But if you start looking at it for any longer than 10 seconds, you start finding problems. And I'm just kind of overlooking the problems. I don't think the wall's going to fall down and kill me, but I could probably done better. I could have done worse.
I mean, it hasn't fallen down and killed you yet, right? If it was
Yeah,
going
exactly.
to, it probably would have by now. Yeah.
Take
there's
some
like,
pictures. I can tell you if it's structurally sound or not.
all right.
Is that though why you're always dark? Is because something did fall down and mess up your face or something, but it didn't quite kill yet?
No, my face was just always this effed up with birth anyway. So
Okay, wait. The quickest way to tell if something is structurally sound is it making any sounds? No? It should be all right.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's not creaking and groaning like it's about to fall over, probably all right.
I mean, yeah.
Now the biggest problem is just trying to find some lumber that's straight. Every board I pulled out of the stack at Home Depot, you could have hung a string off the damn thing and shot arrows.
Yeah, that's true.
One of them, I'm pretty sure it was on the way to becoming a question mark.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now you have crossed over to the other side. I worked at lumber yards, and I hated those people who picked through the whole fucking bundle for one piece of. It's like, just take the fucking thing.
No, but when your stud is like this, like you end up with problems. You can't nail your drywall to it, or well, in a shop you're probably not putting drywall, but I've experienced that remodeling my house.
When you buy
straight
4x4s,
is.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, straight lumber is very important.
Yeah, problem
Your
is
fault
when you
for
buy.
not having it. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, when you buy 4x4s and they look like Twizzlers.
Like the barbershop poles. Like,
What I would do is well, I mean, obviously you can't fix every board, but sometimes the boards will get bowed simply being in the unit, because they'll kind of get set bowed like this because there's two stickers on the, well, we call them stickers. They're just the boards that the unit's sitting on. So they would bow like this. So whenever I'd get them, sometimes I would re-sticker them with a sticker on top, and then I would just flip over the unit so it could like decompress and possibly straighten back out.
That makes sense.
We got to it.
I feel like my problem was always I'd buy 2x4s for studs or whatever, and they would twist, like what DNS say. Look like a Twizzler. That actually, it's so common that they make a hammer where underneath the claw there's like another little piece, and it's so you can grab studs and you nail one side and you grab it and twist it back straight and then nail the other side.
See, that keeps the structure under tension. It keeps it standing up straight. Yeah.
Oh,
Those are the boards you actually want to get.
No.
yeah, I disagree.
If it's constantly under pressure, it's going to break very soon.
No.
Very soon.
Slimo says Galaxy 500 is a good song by the revered Horton Heat. Is that an Australian group? Never heard of
Yeah, I
that.
think he's American.
Yeah,
I've heard of Canned Heat. But
The only Australian group I know is AC/DC.
they're Australian?
AC/DC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Completely Australian.
Didn't know that. Well, I guess I know two then. I know that, and then I think the Newsboys was originally Australian, but they've changed so many members. They're not even the same band anymore. I don't know if they're Australian anymore.
they're all American
LA.
LA, welcome. I think we're all doing good. How are you doing?
Doing good.
But moral of the story is, I'm just trying to get it in the neighborhood. I'm not, this place ain't gonna be on like better garages and junkyards anyway. So
Is that the cooler version of Better Homes and Gardens?
exactly.
I mean, as long as it gives you a roof and a place to work, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Biggest thing is I'm just building the end wall, and then I'm gonna put up probably a set of double doors on the front. I was gonna get a roll up garage door, but they're just so damn expensive now.
Because it was a big ass pump.
Yeah.
I actually have a friend that installs them, and his cost only is like $2,000 for the size I needed.
At home and then take it to school.
Mm.
And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, that's $2,000 I could put in the car.
Yep.
Well, if you have any questions or anything, man, I'm pretty much a carpenter, so I can help you out.
All right, cool.
Try to
Appreciate that.
explain things the best I can.
I think I got a pretty decent grasp on it. Like I said, as long as I get in the neighborhood, I'll be happy. I mean, if somebody's a professional builder and they stand there and look at it for 30 seconds, they'll probably start finding problems. But,
Oh, LNA had some hood rats trying to break in. Didn't pan out too well for them.
You shoot them?
Yeah, you got one of these home defense sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I got one of those too, but it's very, very small.
Oh yeah, I've got small ones too. I've got unfinished ones too.
My collection is very weak at the moment, so
I got one over.
I want more, but they cost money, so.
They do. I've been collecting for years or building for years. I've got the home defense, the high-tech home defense one right here, and other defense. Oh, he wants to know how your car's coming, Dan.
The engine is fully torn apart, completely. Just bare engine. That's good. I figured out what the camshaft is. LNA. It's 268 duration, 451 lift, both intake and exhaust. 110 lobe separation. So pretty pretty dinky.
Put that away, Aubrey. Don't just leave it on the floor. Right there.
Oh, Reverend Horton Heat. I still don't think I've heard of them.
You know what I found actually when I was pulling out the camshaft. So I took
rock band. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So I took out the timing chain, right? And there's that plate that holds the camshaft in. Yeah, well, the bolts were pretty much all the way out.
What?
Yeah.
So was your camshaft walking back and forth a little bit, or?
Well, no, because it's a flat tappet. So flat tappet, as it rotates, it actually shoves the cam to the back of the block.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it doesn't ride on the actual lobe itself. It rides on the edge of the lobe, and it spins the lifter as it goes because everything's on a taper. It's tapered to shove it in the back of the block. That's why you don't need a cam button on the front of the flat tappets. The cam button is there on the rollers to keep it from walking back and forth because the roller just spins directly on the lobe.
Oh, I don't know what a cam button is. I've only ever had flat tappet cams that I know of, but I didn't know that they were tapered in that way. I knew that the lifters and stuff are tapered and that they rotate and all that. But
yeah, the lifters are crowned, and then the lobe is tapered up like this, and it only rides on half of the lifter. So as it goes, it's shoving itself in the back of the block.
Did you tell them what we're going to do to my car?
What are we going to do to your car?
Replace that gasket.
Oh, yeah, the valve cover gasket.
Oh, is it leaking?
It's leaking oil from somewhere right up near the top of the engine, so
sounds like valve cover gasket.
At least that's what I could see. I don't know. We'll have to look at it more when we get into it, but
LMA says close to stock sounds like, but nothing a thumper can't fix.
Yeah. No, I'm going with the only thing I know for sure is it's going to have a 106 LSA. I need to know what the heads flow before I decide how much lift it's going to have.
Tom, you're taking on the DMS persona. You're in witness protection as well.
Nah, so I just have a dim outside light.
And Dean, welcome, Dean.
Hey.
14 decimal places.
Yeah, I like that. I have to bring that up to my boss. Just move that 14 decimal places over to the right and pay me that.
Yeah.
You need, Dean, you need 14 decimal places of pi.
I like pi.
I ate 14 decimal points of pi once.
I had more than that memorized at one point because I was bored in math class.
The furthest I ever got was what is it? 3.14. That's pi, isn't it?
Yeah. It's 3.1415926535897932 something.
8675309. We get it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where that song came from. It's in the middle of pi. Not actually a phone number. Just kidding.
I wonder, whoever has that phone number now, they're probably fine. But back when that song came out, they probably got a lot of phone calls.
Probably. I wonder if they even have that phone number.
Yeah, maybe we should call them.
Right now.
On live. Okay.
Yeah. Do it. What's the worst that can happen?
Well, but I don't have an area code because that's only 7 digits.
Probably on purpose.
Let's see.
You eating cereal?
What is it?
over there?
It's 857. Wait, 8. Oh man, what is it?
8675309.
675309.
8675309.
To place a call in this area, you must dial the area code and the phone number.
No, I need an area code.
Try this one. 547
547.
8675
Okay.
Oh God! Why are you laughing?
Your call cannot be completed at this time. Please try again later.
No.
No phone numbers start with 5.
No phone numbers start with 5? That's
Yeah.
not true. Because phone number I grew up with started with 5.
What was it? There was something about 5s.
Oh, there's no. All in movies, it's always 555, and there's no 555.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Dean put it up. It's 3.141592653589799323. That's where I stopped. 8462664. That's how far I used to know. And then the 338327950, so on. I didn't know that far.
Okay. Now, what's your guess? Did he actually manually type that whole thing out, or did he copy and paste it?
No, he copied and pasted it. Why would he put spaces in there if he was writing it from memory?
Because Dean is committed.
Okay.
Committed to putting spaces where they don't belong.
Could be.
Maybe you got tired and needed a break.
Yep.
LNA, I can't tell you what happened to Kennedy. All I can say is grassy knoll. That's it. And apparently the B-52s will answer if we call that number. But we got to find we need the right area code. Give me some more area codes.
612.
Okay.
That's a city's area code. Minneapolis.
Welcome to Legendary Services Family. Home of Paul Bunyan Plumbing and Drains, Blue Ox Heating and Air, Lumberjack Electric, and A to Z Underground. Please press 1 to promptly direct you to one of our legendary customer service experts.
Legendary.
Should I press 1?
You should do it, then we should all start singing the song.
Okay.
You're going to end up with a new heat pump, aren't you?
8675309.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling Paul Bunyan Plumbing and Drains, Blue Ox Heating and Air, Lumberjack Electric, and A to Z Underground. My name is Maggie. How can I offer you legendary service?
Hey, I was just wondering, is your refrigerator running?
We don't have a refrigerator.
Oh, sorry.
Wrong number.
That was terrible. We don't have a refrigerator.
I wonder how often they get called, though, because,
You just made their day. Or
I was just wondering.
I don't know. She seemed kind of irritated. Now I feel kind of bad.
We don't have a refrigerator.
We don't have a refrigerator. Who doesn't have a refrigerator?
Dang, she ruined my joke. I was going to say she better go catch it, but...
No, we all do. Yeah.
Yeah, she got.
We don't have a refrigerator. Well, do I have the deal for you?
Do not have the illusion she was sitting in the office. She was sitting at home. Nobody's at the office right now.
Well, but even most offices have refrigerators, so you can put your lunch in there.
Well, any decent one should.
Yeah. I've worked at some pretty crappy offices, and they still have refrigerators.
You know what you should have said? Like,
What?
hey, is your refrigerator running? We don't have a refrigerator. Oh, you poor people.
I should have said that.
Is your company not making enough to afford a refrigerator?
Well, this is your lucky day.
Wait.
You just want a
Specialize in
refrigerator.
heating and cooling?
Excuse me, sir or ma'am, is your refrigerator walking?
Walking? They'd be like, what?
What?
So, but I kind of wonder why they're still answering the phone this late at night for a plumbing and heating company.
That's for money.
Probably because plumbers are on call.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
So maybe it's like, yeah, they have emergency stuff. Yeah.
I run into those guys all the time.
The emergency plumbing guys?
Yeah. They're way cooler than the normal plumbing guys.
Was their name Paul Bunyan Heating and Cooling Specialties? What
It
was
was
their
something
name?
like that. It was something like that. My phone says Shoe Tree.
Shoe Tree.
Ooh.
Shoe Tree. Can't show you. Can't show you all my contacts, but I can show you.
What was it? Lumberjack Heating and Air?
Something like that. Oh, focus. See, it says Shoe Tree.
Huh.
And then the other one that I dialed.
Shoe
Hello,
tree.
this is Paul Bunyan's Heating and Cooling. How can we give you our legendary service? I'm cold, and I don't want to be anymore. Sir, exactly what is it that you want from us? I want you to heat this fucking place up.
Oh, we got Mountain Grill 406. Welcome.
Hey, what's up?
And your fridge falls over? That's not good.
Falls up. Yeah.
Welcome, Ken. Welcome.
Hey.
Also, Dean loves that you're in the live stream. Sir does nothing special.
Thanks, Dean.
He is a new member.
And do y'all know Roy D. Mercer?
Oh,
Yes.
That sounds
How big a
familiar.
boy are you?
What is a Roy D. Mercer?
It's a prank phone call guy.
That's a prank phone call guy.
Oh, is it like Jerky Boys?
Kinda.
Okay.
Yeah, just it's PG-13.
Like
Yeah.
red guy. He's like, well, boy, how big a boy are you? I'm fitting to come down there and whoop your ass.
All right.
I got a 55-gallon drum of ass whip, and I'm gonna come down there and pour it all on you.
Yeah, my wife was just in there, and she says y'all were, I'm about fitting to come down there and whoop your ass. Sir, we don't know anything about. It basically goes on like that.
I'm fixing to come down there and put ass whooping on you.
Now, I haven't listened to that in years. I completely forgot that was a thing.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while. I don't think he's been around for, he had those few, CDs he came out with.
Yeah, CDs.
Never heard of him after that.
CDs, it's not really a thing anymore, so.
No, all this crappy digital music.
Yeah.
The thing, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Nothing has the sound quality of the records. They have the best sound quality. When you do everything digitally, it just ruins all the feel.
Yeah, I would agree. So, would you pick audio cassette over CD as well then?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Actually, when we recorded our CD and the band Soulshine I was in, we recorded everything on reel to reel.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the coolest experience ever.
That is cool.
Each reel cost like $300. We used 2 of them, so it's quite expensive.
Ken wants to know what everybody has been up to lately.
Getting
Engine tear down. Project XMP.
I've been getting people to sign my snowplow contracts.
And I'm just hauling refrigerators and Nissan Altimas to their final demise.
Oh, but you also had something cool come in, right?
Yep, that little Fairlane ranch wagon.
Yeah. Can I put that up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me see.
I'll be coming out with some more music stuff, but been pretty busy at work, and then we actually went to an actual party, just me and the wife. So I've been doing family things and stuff. So
Okay. Here's the cool car. Well, so why did they
enhance?
I'm enhancing.
You're
That's as
enhancing
far as
on
it'll
the
let me
wrong
go.
automobile.
What
Good patina.
was it? Just some in a field and they scrapped it, or what's the deal? Like all the glass looks complete.
Yeah, everything's there. I didn't see no cracks in the glass or anything. It's just somebody didn't want it no more, and they just called them, and they got like 5 or 6 rollbacks there, and they just go out and pick up people's cars and bring them there.
Looks like somebody crunched it right here.
Yeah, the front end's messed up a little bit, but if you can find that fender, it ain't too bad a shape.
So
That's
that's
classic.
good for the crusher then, or what?
I'm not really sure because, pretty much everything that they have out there on the pullet yard is all pretty much newer model stuff. And I'm not really sure where that's going to end up at. If it looks like it's going to get crushed, I'm going to talk to the manager and see if I can just go ahead and buy it.
Yeah, might as well.
Just to keep it from going to the crusher. It's even got a little 260 V8 in it.
That's cool.
They get so much stuff in up there. They have so many Nissan Altimas, for example, that they end up crushing half of them that come in. We actually had one of the other drivers was telling me he was there last week, and there was a guy that pulled I think it was, I can't remember the model number. It was a BMW. It's like a late 80s, early 90s. I think it's like a 318 maybe. He pulled it up on the scales, and they said there wasn't nothing wrong with the car. He drove it in there. He said it looked like it just been washed and waxed. Interior was immaculate. He sold it for scrap.
Wow.
Hmm.
Desperate people.
Yeah, he just didn't want it no more. He just rolled it in there, and they gave him like $180, $200 for it, and he left.
Man, you'd think that. I don't know. I guess some people just don't want to put the effort into it, but he could have got quite a bit more.
Stolen
Oh
car.
yeah. No, they have to check the VIN number every car that comes in.
You have to sign away the title to the junkyard, don't you?
Yeah, they check. What he told me, he said when they type in the VIN number, it goes straight to state capital. He said it doesn't like flash up and say, "Oh, this is stolen" or anything. He said they type in the VIN number, and he said about 10 or 15 minutes later, the police show up if it is. He said there for a little while, he said somebody was getting arrested up there at least twice a month.
Dang. Trying to just hawk other people's cars?
Yeah, they actually got a little back lot where they keep all the stolen stuff waiting for the insurance companies. And he told me, he said it was about 4 or 5 years ago. He said these two guys showed up. They brought like a late 80s Oldsmobile in. He said it wasn't junk car or anything. He said just decided they're going to sell it for scrap. They checked the numbers, everything was good. And he said they left, and he said about 30 minutes later, police from the next town over showed up and wanted to know the IDs on them two guys. And they said, "Well, we got it in here." And he's like, "Well, what's the problem? The car ain't stolen." He said, "Yeah, we know, but he said they just used it in the bank robbery about an hour ago."
Oh no, really?
Yeah, they did the robbery, then they brought the car up there and sold it for scrap.
Whoa. That's hardcore. Well, it's
$2,000 I made off with at the bank, and the 150 I just got for this car, and buy another car.
You'd think they'd be able to find a lake somewhere and just, into the water.
Oh, but you don't get $150 for doing that.
They just robbed a bank. $150 is a drop in the bucket at that point.
I mean, they say they robbed a bank, but they didn't go into the vault and get all the money. They probably robbed one of the tellers and then hightailed it out of there. If they waited until the vault was opened, the police would be all around that building. So they probably only made off with maybe $1,000.
Yeah, that $150 was beer money.
They makes a good point. It takes too long to sink a boat like that car. So
yeah, we actually have a rock quarry here that's been abandoned probably for over 30 years, and it's filled back up with water. And they actually go send divers down from the police department every year, and they usually find 4 or 5 stolen cars.
Yeah, see, told you.
Insurance fraud.
Water.
Dean, I'm not sure what purple stuff you're talking about in the trunk, but yeah, I don't know what to do with that.
Purple stuff.
Do bank robbers put purple stuff in the trunk of their cars, in their getaway vehicles?
I don't know what purple stuff he's referring to.
Oh, maybe he's talking about those dye bombs that they put in.
Oh, that they like ink the money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any way to clean that off. Like if you were...
Probably not without destroying the bill.
Yeah. I don't know. Because if you could figure out how to clean the ink off, it wouldn't really matter if the ink bomb went off.
I mean, if it's in the trunk and it goes off, or like say like 2 of them go off back in the trunk, like you're gonna be leaking.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a trail to follow.
I don't think there's that much ink in there.
I think it's just enough to mark the bills.
They're missing out then. That would be way easier to follow a trail of ink to the guy who stole it.
Mountain Gorilla 406 says, if you live where I do, it's easier to crush for scrap than find a lake suitable to put it in.
Huh.
Well, there's plenty of lakes around here. Just hard to get them down in there, I guess.
I'm from the land of 10,000 lakes. There's a lake literally everywhere you look around here.
Yeah, that's true. Lakes all over the place.
It also sounds like maybe Dean has tried this scheme before with the money and the ink.
Dean, how many many robberies have you committed?
He says the ink comes off with time. Oh, not deep enough. The lakes aren't deep enough. Hey, but you could drive down to, could drive across the border into Idaho and go to Sandpoint and drop it in Lake Pend Oreille. It's like the deepest lake west of the Mississippi or something. They do submarine testing there. Some pretty crazy stuff. You could drop a car down there and never be able to recover it.
What kind of submarine testing?
Like military submarine testing.
No, you sure it's not Titanic proportions?
No, not that kind of submarine.
Not the kind of submarine you drive around with video game controllers.
Oh man. I mean, maybe they do that too. I don't know, but
I want my money back.
Well, look out to the bottom of the lake, so it must be able to get to the Titanic. Who thought carbon fiber would break?
make a good point. 2-hour drive for Lake Pend Oreille, or 10 minutes down the road for the crusher.
Yeah, but the crusher leaves paperwork.
That is a good point, because you drive 2 hours to the lake, and then how are you gonna get back? You're just gonna walk.
In my neighborhood, they just pull in a parking lot and hop in another car. Well, that's the right way to do it. But we're not talking about, like, what if you're
too much evidence.
Yeah, what if you're not a big crime boss yet, and you can't afford 2 cars? You can only afford 1 junker getaway car.
I must be a crime boss then. I got my Equinox and then my crime van.
If you get caught crossing state lines, it's extra time. Yeah, or you get prosecuted by 2 different states. Well, I guess only if you commit. Well, putting the car in the lake is probably a crime. That's probably littering.
That's how you make sure it's not your car. You steal the car beforehand.
Good point. Yeah, you could steal the car in Utah, rob the bank in Montana, and then ditch the car in Idaho, and then they can't prosecute you, right? Because you committed it all in 3 different states.
That'd be too long. It's got to be a one and done.
This is what you do.
You have to hit them so fast before they can catch on to what you're doing.
You go to the bank, you steal a car from the bank, then you rob the bank. Once the car is in your possession, then you drive to the lake, steal the car in the lake, and then you walk somewhere else because you just dumped your car into the lake.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's the difference between organized and disorganized crime.
I suppose that shit wouldn't
One's
work
Italian
anymore,
and one's not.
It's a Russian mafia around here.
Yeah, but no, you would want to dump the car in the lake because the lake would erase all evidence of you being there. They can't fingerprint shit once it's been underwater. They can't find hair samples and shit. All that's been washed out.
Well, but that's why before you commit it, you have to shave all of your body hair off and wear gloves.
Look, not all of us go out into the woods with other men, all right?
Hey,
you don't have that luxury.
We were trying to find Bigfoot that stole my beard. It's just how it goes. Now all of us are on a list. Everybody on the stream and in the chat, you're all on the list now.
Oh, that's like the umpteenth million list I've made myself on, so I'm sure I'm on a lot of lists.
We all have multiple filing cabinets now.
LNA says, obviously you burn it with acetone. That makes sense. No evidence. It all just goes away.
Seems like it would take a lot of acetone to burn a whole car down. Gas would be cheaper.
Would be cheaper. There's already gas in the car. You just put a rag in the gas tank and light it up. Burns it down.
Good.
Or you could buy electric and it'll just self-combust eventually.
Yeah.
Or let it just go through our shredder at work, and then it'll just blow up by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem to have. They must have had a conversation with them, because all of a sudden I noticed when they start dealing with crushed cars down there, they rip the gas tanks out of them now.
Well, that sounds like a safety thing that makes sense.
Yeah, 2 fires in a week. That
Yeah.
That's funny because our grandpa crushed a not empty propane tank, and the whole town heard it.
The whole town knew about it.
I was in school like 4 miles away from where it happened. Well, probably 5-6 miles away from where it happened, in the gymnasium, and we heard it like it happened right outside.
It was a big boom. He was A-okay.
He lost some ear.
Well, yeah, he lost some hearing, obviously, but
Yeah, they said it randomly happens, though. They said sometimes people leave the propane tank in the trunk, and when it goes through the shredder, that's it.
Cement is the Sicilian answer.
that's only for people. You don't cement block a car to the bottom of the
Whoa. Maybe cement wheels.
It's kind of like concrete shoes.
Yeah.
You don't concrete fuel a car.
This is what you do. You want to get away with robbing a bank? This is what you do. You go to the bank, you go inside, you get an application, then you work at that bank for a couple months, and then you get a car loan, you get a car. And then when they least expect it, you work your way all the way up to the top. And then you own the bank.
Then you get to rob everybody.
Yeah. Then you're actively robbing other people with the bank.
Your
Looks
weaponized
like your credit
bank.
score went to 0. Don't know how that happened.
Now that is truly organized crime right there.
Oh, no. Your interest rate just jumped way up. Oh, look at that. That sucks. Oh, well, yeah. Get the bigger jacuzzi this time.
Exactly. Yeah, sounds like an inside job.
Some would say the best jobs are inside jobs. Especially if you live in Minnesota, because it gets damn cold.
Yeah, you don't want outside jobs in Minnesota. I've done that. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of clothes that you have to put on to spend all day outside in below 0 weather is...
No. Correction. All those clothes you put on in the hopes of spending all day out there. And then after 2 hours, the coldness penetrates all the way down. And then you're done the rest of the day. You just got to accept the fact that you're cold. You have to just come to terms with the fact you're cold. Because after that, it's done. You can go inside and try to warm up, but all your clothes are retaining the coldness. So you never warm up. And if you're in a lumber yard, you have to wear steel-toe shoes. Guess what gets really cold in the fucking winter? Steel-toe shoes.
I think that I'd rather be in too cold than too hot weather, though, because you can keep adding clothes, but there's only so much you can take away.
Yeah, I go with that sentiment, because when it gets too hot, I overheat, like an iPhone left out in the sun.
But yeah, and like there's a certain point where you're just naked, but it's still too hot, you know.
And then you're going to jail.
Well, not if you're in your own home.
Well, no,
No.
we're talking about working here.
Oh, okay.
No, if you get too hot, if you get too hot, you just pass out, right? You don't have to then actively deal with it. If you're too cold, well, you're just fucking too cold. You have to deal with that shit.
If you don't actively get out of the space you're in when you pass out, there's a good chance you're gonna die.
Yeah, and then you'll never have to deal with it again. It'll be a blessing in disguise.
But it's the other way with the cold. You don't just pass out. You kind of slowly lose consciousness and go to sleep.
Yeah,
It's kind of like passing out, just not as immediate.
You get real
it's
sleepy.
torturous.
Just wanna lay down for a second. Just a second. Then you get back up and get going. It'll be fine. Just rest my eyes for a second. And then you're gone.
Yeah.
The key, 2 pairs of gloves. Okay. You got the one pair you're wearing, then the other pair you put on the back of the forklift next to the exhaust. And the exhaust heats them up and dries them off until this pair is so cold and wet you can't use it anymore, then you swap them out.
Wise. Yeah, that's a good trick.
Yeah.
Or you have 2 sets of gloves and put in a bunch of hand warmers in between the 2 gloves.
Yeah, hand warmers don't. They sound like a good idea, but they don't last, you know.
Well, no, not when you're in there sweating all over them.
Well, you're working.
Well, then you're not cold, are you?
No, you're even colder because then the sweat just makes you even colder. Not supposed to sweat when you're that cold. Actually, you know, there is a point where you have so much clothing on, you become immobile and can no longer do your job.
You're just walking around like this.
Yeah, there is a fine line there.
Yeah.
You gotta get real good coveralls. You'd be fine.
Or you could have taken the forklift and built yourself a little enclosure and had a little heater in there.
We did that.
Yeah.
At Menards. We saran wrapped the whole thing and then put a heater in it.
We'd saran wrap the roof and put cardboard stuff up there for when it rains. That's what we do. But
the plow truck used to be totally encompassed with like plexiglass, but by the time I left, that got taken apart.
What plow truck? You didn't have a plow
truck. We had a designated forklift just for plowing.
Yeah, no, we didn't have that shit. Any forklift did the plow. All we had was a quarter of a tractor tire that we put on our forks, and that was our plow.
It probably worked okay when there was a little bit of snow.
I mean, it worked, you know. I remember loading up the fucking. I remember during a blizzard, I had to fucking load up this lumber and shit onto the flatbed truck, and I would drive out to where the lumber was, and I would look back, and I couldn't see the truck anymore. It was just white.
Oh man.
No, that was a hell of a day. It's kind of fun though when you're like in that environment though, that extreme environment. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it can be.
It's fun when you get out of it and you know you can get out of it. Yeah. But if you're stuck there, it wouldn't be so much fun.
Well, people would get those forklifts just buried in fucking snow because they were complete idiots. They would just go barreling in to fucking, deep ass snow and get the forklift stuck. Like way out in the fucking middle of nowhere. While the snow is still coming down, burying it even more. I'd have to go get that shit out of there. You just keep spinning the wheels. Because eventually, they're solid wheels. You just keep spinning them. Eventually, they'll heat up and they'll just melt a path out.
Melt a path, or will they just melt a hole and then you get stuck?
No, they'll melt the path. You will initially melt the hole, but once you hit the concrete, then it's just melting a path. It's slow, but it works.
Okay, I'll have to take your word for that. We have reached the end of our time. At least I've got to go.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but it's been real, gentlemen, and thank you for everybody that watched and is in the chat.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one, everybody.